What's going on, everybody? Kyle here. So let's talk about training standards, right? What standards should we strive for? Well, that is a personal choice. I personally set my own standards because I know what I need to be capable of, or what I want to be capable of, rather. Now, some of my standards are being sub-second and being able to make consistent hits on a 6-inch target at 50 yards. Being able to accurately take a shot while moving at 10 to 15 yards on a 6-inch plate while moving. And I'm not talking about just, moving. I'm talking about, with some pep in my step, kind of moving. Accurately place those shots. Why do I have those standards? Because they're high standards, right? I want high standards. Why do we want high standards? Because we want to train beyond the likelihood of something. Now, I've talked to some other people here lately and had a couple gun store conversations and internet conversations, which those are always fun. But here's the thing, right? So I see a lot on certain gun pages that you shouldn't train past 7 yards. Why shouldn't you train past 7 yards? It's always my question. Why should we stop at this distance? Because the likelihood of you needing a gun beyond 7 yards is very slim, and yada yada yada. Most self-defense encounters happen within 3 to 5 feet. And it's like, really? So because it's more likely for me to need a gun at this distance, I shouldn't train beyond it? Because that possibility is still there, still on the table. May not be as likely of a possibility, but it's there. Okay, cool. That makes no sense to me, but alright. Why should you be sub-second? For me, being sub-second is just an efficiency standard. In a real-world situation, it's probably never going to be needed. But it's there if I do, right? The possibility of me needing a sub-second draw is there. Not very likely, but it's there. Same reason I train 25 and beyond. The possibility is there. Not likely, but it's there. Now, when we start really diagnosing and getting in detail of what we're doing when we're training for certain things at higher standards, right? So if I'm training for a sub-second draw, for instance, what all am I doing within that hundredths of a second, right? So just under a second, what all am I doing? What all am I processing? What all is going through my brain in that very, very short amount of time, right? What do I have to accomplish in that short amount of time? Well, I have to have a good grasp on my cover garment. I have to clear that cover garment. I have to have a good master firing grip. I have to have a good, clean draw. I have to have a good, consistent presentation. I have to have a good sight picture. I have to have a good trigger press. All of that in under a second. So when I'm working my draw stroke, I'm not just working going fast, right? I'm not just working on looking cool for the internet, right? Now, granted, I post a lot of that because that gets people's attention, which in turns, more people watch videos like this. So that sub-second, I have to be efficient. I have to have that efficiency. So if I can accomplish that in under a second, if I need, or if I'm allotted, in real life, say, gas station robbery or something, I have someplace I could possibly have more time, I have that ability to do it efficiently. I have an unconscious competency that I don't have to go super fast, but the confidence in my ability to get a good, consistent draw stroke will be there, right? That's why I train at that level. Same thing with shooting at 25 plus, right? What are the chances of me needing to make a headshot at 50 yards? Probably never happen, right? Probably never happen. But if I can hit a 6-inch plate at 50 yards with my pistol at 3 yards or 5 yards, I can make that same shot, right? I have that ability at that distance. So if I have to do it at this distance, I will have the confidence in my capabilities of doing it. If I'm out at the grocery store with my family and some active shooter, down the aisle decides to start shooting up the place, I have that confidence in myself and in my abilities to take that shot that is 25 yards, right? That is just something to think about. The possibility of something happening or the likelihood of something happening shouldn't be the only thing we base our training off of, because something is more likely than this. We shouldn't train for this. We should only train for that because it's most likely to happen. I don't agree with that. All right, so we should set higher standards. And when we set standards for our training, it shouldn't only be with this, right? So we need to set high standards in everything, right? So we have high standards for this. We should have high standards for our empty hand. We should have high standards for our medical. We should have high standards for our communication skills. This is just a tool. I want to be as efficient and effective with this tool as I possibly can. But I don't want this to be my only tool. So when we're training, let's think about efficiencies. And not just efficiencies with our firearm, but efficiencies in everything we do to train and better ourselves. All right, this is Kyle, Train with a Purpose.